right. Okay. Sound is off. Oh, I got 9 people already. Hey! All right, we are going to get this party started. And let me just fix my thumbnail really quick. Here we go. All right, so here's the deal. You guys got me for 30 minutes. I have to be done with this show. So technically it's a little under 30 minutes, but I need to be wrapping this up about 7:55. Or if you're on the East Coast, I guess it would be 8:55. If you are on the West Coast, it would be 5:55. I've got to be done because I have an appointment like literally right after this. So with that in mind, okay, thank you. So I was going to say, let's play nice. So with that in mind, I got to be out. All right. So you're going to enjoy me for the few minutes we got together tonight. This was a scheduling issue for me because I had some other stuff and I didn't have time to film today's episode. Ooh, hello everybody. I didn't have time to film today's episode prior, and I always film my episodes on Sunday. Sometimes I film them on Saturday, but then things got a little busy. Yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah, I got time. Monday night, oh yeah, I got time. Tuesday night, oh yeah, I got time. Wednesday, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, wait a second. Because I said I was going to film on Wednesday, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll film the day before. It'll be ready for upload. No problem. But Wednesday hit, and I was just like, okay, well, I get all the way to sleep, and I said, I forgot to film, didn't I? I said, yes, I did. So, and then I got home late, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to surprise them by going live. So I figured I'd do that, give us some time to chit chat. And I know this is a little different from the norm because the next scheduled live with me will be on the 18th. So just so everybody knows. It's my once a month live. I'll be doing it a week in advance because of the holidays. So, all right, we got a lot of people in here. We got Beth, Shannon, Medina, Pamela, Blanca, Alexandria, and Sherry. Thank you all so much for being here. All right. So tonight's topic from the title is, when should you take your medical coding exam? I got this question. And I said, this is the perfect topic for tonight's episode. So I will read it and I will go on. I hope you all had a great Thursday. You see, the days are running in together from me. I hope you all had a great Thursday. I did. It was pretty quick. But here we go. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. Okay, guys. Today we are talking about when you should take your medical billing and coding exam. So the question I got was, hi Blue, if I study for the CPC exam 20 hours per week, because you guys know that's my cadence, 20 hours per week. That's for how many months approximately before I take the exam? So there's really no typical mathematical formula because every program is different. But what I always tell people is this. When you're studying medical billing and coding, you want a program that is going to be 9 months, 12 months, or 18 months. Obviously, there's a lot of programs that are less, like way less time than 9 months. And if you're taking the AAPC program, combined with the medical terminology and anatomy course, it comes out to 8 months. 8 months is a heck of a lot better than 6 months or 4 weeks. Okay, guys? It's a heck of a lot better than that. But there are some programs out there that are really short, like less than 6 months. If you are in one of those programs, it does take a lot, because even if you are a nurse or somebody from the medical field, it doesn't mean you can learn in 6 months, all right? No matter what they say to you when they're selling you the program. So if you can manage to stretch out that time that you're studying, because you can always supplement your studies, in conjunction with that short period of time, to make it to at least 9 months, all right? If you feel ready in 9 months, then by all means. But if you don't feel ready, I always tell people, by the time you finish your medical billing and coding program, you should be ready within a month to sit for your exam. Some people are ready sooner than that. Everybody learns differently. So if you feel like you're ready sooner, then by all means, you go right ahead. But this is for people who are really not sure, and they're not like, well, should I or shouldn't I? Is this too soon? The max is you should go past the end date of your medical billing and coding program is 3 months. So you need to be taking your test within 90 days of your graduation date. All right. And this is just so that you don't forget anything that you've learned in the program. Some people make the mistake of, oh, well, I'll take the program, I'll take the medical coding certification in a couple months when I save the money for the exam. If you're doing this while you're in the program, you know that you need to have that money for the exam. And whether you're sitting for the American Health Information Management Association exams or the AAPC exam, the American Academy of Professional Coders, you know what the cost is. It's literally on the website. It's not anything new. So just make sure that you are saving that money while you're in the program so that you can be ready to take your test whenever you are ready. Because the longer you wait after your program ends, the more you're going to forget. And so, another couple of months, or no, I don't feel ready. That time just adds on. And sometimes that 3 months will turn into 6 months. And then 6 months will turn into a year. And then some people have told me, Bleu, it's been 2 years since I've completed my program and I was too scared to take the exam. So if you want to use like just a typical marker within 3 months of completing your program, right, you should be sitting for your exam. But again, if you don't feel ready, and by feeling ready, meaning like you are, doing like practices from the workbooks, and you're not getting a lot of those answers right, if that's the case, then you need to find a tutor or find a mentor who can help you to really understand. Because what happens in these medical billing and coding programs is that they're going so fast, and it is very much self-paced. A lot of these programs are. And so people are trying to learn this on their own. And because, it's not something that you can easily pick up because it's a different language. It's different rules, and everything is different when you get into this. So because of this, you just want to make sure that you really do have a good grasp. And if you're getting stuff right when you're answering these questions, you're more ready than you know. But if you're missing a lot of things, and you have to be good with ICD-10-CM and CPT, and if you're taking any of the inpatient medical coding certifications like the CCS, the CCA, or the CIC, you want to make sure that you are really good with ICD-10 PCS. So just make sure that you're good on all of them. If you say, well, I'm good on ICD-10-CM, but I'm not really good at CPT, then that's where you need to concentrate your study time, is with that CPT book, all right? And still incorporating like ICD-10-CM because you don't want to forget anything. But still keeping the time that you spend after the program to that 20 hours per week of study is really going to be beneficial for you, because when you're doing that, that means that you are really serious and that you're actually putting in that time to make sure that you are going to be really prepared. Because the people who spend those 20 hours per week after their program and preparing themselves for the exam, those are the people who do really well, typically. And for those of you that say, oh, I'm doing 5 or 7 hours a week, that's not good enough, guys. And you have to find that time. We have to do whatever it takes to get that time in. And this is just a small amount of time. You are not going to be in school forever. You will eventually take your exam, pass it, and be able to get out into the real world. But for this time, it's just a concentrated time of study, because this is the way that it has to be. This is something that is brand new to you. You're getting into a brand new field. Some people have told me, well, Blue, I'm coming from a different sector. And if this is the case, and it happens to a lot of us, you know, a lot of us came from no background in medical. Hello. And so when you do that, you really have to prepare yourself more than ever, because again, something that's brand new. All right, so hi everybody. Hi Jamie. Sherry says, before I begin the program, I'm trying to get my ducks in a row. How much does it the test cost? So it depends on if you're sitting for American Health Information Management Association. The American Health Information Management Association, or AHIMA, has the CCS, the Certified Coding Specialist, the CCA, the Certified Coding Associate, or the CCSP, the Certified Coding Specialist, physician-based. They also have the degree designations, but for the purposes of this episode talking about medical coding credentials, we'll just mention those three. The American Academy of Professional Coders has the CPC, and all of their cost is literally on the website. If you're looking at any of those for AHIMA, it's ahima.org. You can go right there. It has the link for the certifications, and you can find out all about that. Same thing with the CPC. It's literally right there. When you CPC, the American Academy of Professional Coders, they have a really good website. I will give them that. It's very user friendly. They have everything very easily accessible, so you can go to either one of these websites and be able to find out the cost of the exam. Yeah. So you used AHIMA. You used AHIMA, or you are going to sit for an AHIMA certification? Because if you are familiar, then you'll know where to go. There's different costs for if you are a member or if you are a non-member. So there's going to be a different fee if you are a non-member, and a lower fee if you are a member. Which one, Sherry? There's several, but there's 3 medical coding certifications. Which one are you planning to sit for? Yeah, so make sure that you guys keep when you're about to test, within 90 days. Some people tell me, well, Blue, I feel ready sooner than that. Go for it. If you are ready sooner than that, by all means, go ahead and go for it. Sometimes I think people think that what I say is supposed to be set in stone. It's not. What it is supposed to give you an idea, right? Based on, just a neutral party here. So it's going to give you an idea of what to do, what to expect. So the way that I try to tell people, because they say, well, I don't know if I should just take it right away. If you feel ready, then go ahead. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that you'd have to take it again. That's literally the worst thing. The best thing, obviously, is if you've been studying appropriately during your whole program time, you're doing your 20 hours, and you're ready by the time you get done. So, and everything's fresh in your mind, because that's really what you want, Medina says, do you know when they typically announce the beta period for the CCS exam? It's usually announced at the beginning of the year is when they do that, typically. I think it'll say on the website if they have the thing or not. Is it in the beginning of the year, or is it in the fall? I think it may be in the fall, because I think they just announced it not too long ago. Oh gosh, I can't remember. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I know they haven't had one. I know they didn't have one last year. So yeah, but we're not going to discuss that one. Cool. Cooley. I always think of Coolio. Poor Coolio. Anyway, so make sure that you guys are studying consistently through your program. When you do that, you're going to be even more prepared, okay? Because by the time you know it, that program is going to be over. That 9 months, however long you're in that program, but that if you're in a 9-month program, that 9 months is going to fly by, and then you're going to be done. And then you're going to be like, okay, it's time to take the test. So again, if you're consistently studying those 20 hours per week, is going to be really easy for you. If you are doing the ICD-10-CM Coding Guidelines Challenge again with me, I reissued the challenge on November 1st. So originally, October 1st, we had I issued the challenge of reading the brand new 2023 ICD-10-CM Coding Guidelines, because they get put out October 1 every year, right? Or that's when they go into effect every year. And so the cms.gov website has them for free. You can download them for free if you don't have the current books. And even if you are just interested in studying medical coding, you can always start with the coding guidelines by reading them. It does help to make you a faster reader, and it does help to get you to be comfortable looking at a lot of information at one time, because that's what we medical coders do. We look at a lot of information all at one time. So the more you can condition yourself to start reading those long passages right away, the better you're going to be when you get into the real world, okay? You're not going to be so overwhelmed. And when you're studying for these medical billing and coding exams, and a lot of people will make the mistake, I say it is a mistake because this is exactly what it is. They will make the mistake of concentrating on like the association test prep manuals, right? AHEMAs for the CCS, the CCA, or the CCSP, I do not recommend those. When it comes to those questions that are on the exam, it's top secret until you get in there, and everybody has a different test. Nobody has the same test. So people have mistakenly said, oh, I really studied the CCS exam prep book from AHEMA really hard. I memorized all those questions and answers. And then when I got into the exam, none of those questions were on the exam, because they're not supposed to be. These exams are supposed to test you on your competency, not that you can memorize a prep book, okay? It's just supposed to get you in that mode. I do not recommend the prep books from AHEMA. And yes, I am certified with AHEMA. I am all the way with AHEMA. I love AHEMA. That is the association for me. But I do not recommend their prep books. That is a personal preference. I am a book connoisseur. As you can see, I love books. I love all my books. But because of this, I am very particular when it comes to books. I do have the books that I recommend for test prep study. They're in the description box below. So probably not right now because this is a live one. But if you look in any of the other ones, you'll see the American Hospital Association, or AHA, ICD-10-CM and ICD-10-PCS Coding Handbook with the answers. That covers both ICD-10-CM and ICD-10-PCS. If you are not having ICD-10-PCS on your exam, like for example, if you're sitting for the CCSP or the CPC, you can still use that book to study for the diagnosis part. That book is excellent when it comes to breaking down like how to get to the diagnoses, how to find them, and the exercises in there are excellent. And of course, it has the answers. So you're going to be able to know if you got it right or not, or if you're on the right track. I will hand it to AAPC. Their CPC study guide is excellent. And this book can be used if you are studying even for an AHEMA exam. Why? Because we all use the same code set. So it doesn't matter that you are sitting for an AHEMA exam. You can still use the CPC study guide because it's covering all of the CPT codes. So that's what you want when you want something that is going to be straightforward and really easy to understand. That's what I like about that book. And like I said, I'll hand it to AAPC. They did a really good job on that book. I have always recommended it. I've gotten some people who said, well, my friend said that I shouldn't use that book. Okay, well, where was your friend earlier? Where was your friend before? I'm a neutral voice. If you don't want to listen to me and my advice, that's fine. But I've taken 3 medical coding exams, all with AHEMA, and I passed them all on the first try. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to study materials because I've used them. And these are the things that I've gone through. I took the CCSP and the CCS last year, passed them both. First try. Same thing with the CCA when I took it the very first time, many moons ago. But when I took it, I was the only one in my class who passed on the first try. So I know a little bit about studying. Let's see. Tammy says, I'm studying for the HIM for the associate's degree. Okay. Can I test for the CCS exam before graduation? Yes, you can. I am already done with my medical terminology, pathophysiology, etc. Yes, you can. Medina says the AHA book is awesome. Don't study to pass the exam, study to understand. Sage advice. I like that. Yes, it is. Is a 2019 still good to use? Yes. So here's the other thing, too. So the thing about using older workbooks when you're preparing for these medical billing and coding certification exams is that these books, they're using the same questions every single year, right? But they're getting updated, right, to the current code set, right? So even if you are using the 2019 prep book to practice on, the CCS, the CPC study guide, let's just say you're using that one, the 2019 one that I've always recommended, that I have the link in the description box and everything. You decide to go ahead and get that, and you're using your 2022 or 2023 books, and let's just say that the code that's in there for one of the answers is not even in your 2022 or 2023 book. That's okay, because that means that that code was probably deleted or it was updated or something. So in that case, you would know, okay, this code was updated, so let me look for the current code for that. So when you do that, it's saving you money, because yes, you can get the 2022 workbooks, right? You can even get the 2023 workbooks, but they're going to be way more expensive. They're like 130, 140, some are $180, right? When you can spend $9.99 for a 2019 book that has the same questions in it, and a lot of the same answers, just some of them are updated. So that's why I say save your money, get the older books. There's nothing wrong with using older books. The only thing that you want to use the most current of, obviously, is the coding manuals. You don't want to be trying to study with 2019 manuals, and when we're here in 2022, because obviously if you're using a 2019 ICD-10-CM manual, for example, there will be nothing in there about the pandemic stuff, right? So that's why you want to make sure that you're using the most current, up-to-date books. Like I said, you can be using 2022 to practice with, but unless you're taking your exam before the end of April with a HEMA, you're going to have to get brand new books come May 1st, because May 1st is when they roll over to their new exams. The American Health Information Management Association, the CCS, CCA, CCSP, all of those, they start testing with the brand new books May 1st. So just so you know. And with AAPC, they do say that you can use the previous year book. So if you take your test in January of 2023 and you have the 2022 ICD-10 CM manual and the CPT manual, they will allow you to use that book in 2023. But they say that you have to be prepared, because you may not have the codes that they have on their test, because January 1, they roll over to the current year test, right? Where a HEMA doesn't. A HEMA will go all the way until April 30th with the previous yearbook. And then after that, May 1st, you got to go to the current yearbook. So that's why you have to make sure you have the right coding manuals. And all of that is literally on the website itself. Liz says, I love the AAPC study guide. It helped me to pass the CPC exam because I was able to understand the scenarios and case studies better. That's right. That's why I love it. And Beth says, and they are also cheaper. Exactly. So when you're using a couple of years older on those books, it's totally fine. It's going to save you money, like I said, and it's just a really good way to practice with these books. Your workbooks is what you can write in. So feel free to write in all of those. When it comes to writing in your books, I have always been a strong advocate for not writing in your books. Some people they'll always argue with me, and I really don't care, guys. When it comes to seeing like all of that clutter and kerfuffle all over your pages and stuff, and I see people so proud, and I'm like, how can you even concentrate? To me, that's too much. It's too much. These books, These coding manuals should be respected. Don't write in them, because if you write all over them, you're not going to have time to read your notes during the exam. And with the AHIMA exams, you cannot have excessive writing in your book. All right. They are very strict about that. I don't care who says, well, when I went, I don't care. I don't care. If you look at the AHIMA website, the candidate hand guide, it will say that they will not allow books with excessive writing. So I would never want to take a chance. That's why I always leave my books clean. And when I went and sat for my very first exam in 2008 for the CCA, great credential, by the way. When I went and sat for that back in 2008, they were very strict. You could not have any tabs at all. And it didn't matter if the tabs came with the book. Now they allow for people, like if the tabs came with a book, which the CPT Professional Edition by the AMA does come with its own tabs. So you can use those. However, if you are practicing with your book, those tabs are going to get in your way and they're going to tear your pages. When you have torn pages, you cannot use tape to tape those pages, because you're not allowed to have tape or sticky notes or anything like that when you're going into these exams. I'm just saying. So keep them clean and do the practice like you're supposed to consistently. Then you will get to know your books and you won't even need them. I'm just saying. So, but yes, all of the information about the specific exam that you're looking at can be available on the website. And I will say this all the time, especially now, because I get very simple questions. Well, Blue, how much does this cost? How much does that cost? It's literally on the website. Literally can go to the website. And each one of the prices is different for those exams. So you want to make sure that you are prepared, and you do that by starting to do your own research. I'm here to help supplement your knowledge, not to spoon feed the stuff to you guys, right? I want y'all to be strong medical coders. I don't want y'all to be medical coders who get into these terrible habits of that they want everything handed to them, because I've seen what that has done to medical coders. And I've seen them not be able to fully develop like they could potentially, because they've gotten so used to stuff being like, okay, here, and we're just going to give you this and going to give you that. No. You have to think. You have to critically think, and you have to problem solve. Because for a lot of you, you want to work at home, and there's a lot of people who say, well, Blue, I want to work at home. And I tell you guys, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. It's not until you get out in the real world and you figure that out, you're like, oh yeah, now I get it. But for those of you who want to work at home, you can't always be running to your team lead or your supervisor. Hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. Hey, can you answer this? Can you answer that? Because then they're doing your job and their job. Okay, so it's just a matter of like, okay, we got to figure this out. We got to problem solve, because everybody has the same access to Google. Everybody does. So without further ado, I will go ahead and wrap this one up, because it's already 7:54. That's right, Medina. I code from home, and you have to be able to function independently. And there's a lot of people who are just not showing that. They're not showing their ability to be able to do that. And it's hard for me to watch. It's hard for me to watch because I love this field. And I want everybody who gets into the field to love it as much as I do, obviously. But I know obviously it's always going to be my own personal opinion, and people have different reasons for feeling how they do about medical coding, because not everybody works around the same people or has the same kind of experience. But I always hope that the people who watch my channel pick up how they can become stronger, how they can okay, I didn't know about those coding companion books, or I didn't know about CMS having free downloadable resources that I can look at if I want to know more about global surgical package, right? If I want to know more about HIPAA and all these things, I can find it on that website. So I'm trying to help you guys out. Thank you so much, Shannon. All right. You too, Beth. All right, Desiree. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So I will see y'all next time. Monday will be the next show, but it will be pre-recorded. So, and I will see y'all next time. Like, subscribe, share. Bye.